y'all. We are back in the building. Flowsfromthegutter.com. Hear me out with you.
Miss Marcy and Papa Mingo in the building. We ain't done yet, man.
Nah, I got two young gentlemen who are here.
Entrepreneurs. They look like
Man.
some young bosses, man. I was following them on Instagram.
Consultants in the building. They about to put us on. They about to teach us mad stuff. And they about to just give us the resources that Boston has in the palm of our hands, and we are not using it. So I want
Two
them
young
to...
fellas. We're gonna let them introduce themselves right here.
Y'all need background music? I'm good at it.
Allow me to reintroduce
Let's
myself.
go. Hey.
My name is... Okay, go ahead.
Now, my name is EntreDupe, and I'm from Lynn, Massachusetts.
I'm
Okay,
Dejoli Chumi, and I'm also from Lynn, Massachusetts, born in Cameroon, Africa.
Okay, we got Zimbabwe in the building. I actually nicknamed him Wakanda in the building. We got Wakanda for real in the building right now. They two chocolate brothers.
What is this EntrepreNeur?
So it's EntreDupe.
EntreDupe? Sorry,
No,
EntreDupe.
don't worry about it. Entre is from Entrepreneur. Dupe is from my last name, Duperval.
Okay.
French, Haitian.
Are you Haitian?
Yeah,
I got beef with y'all. I'm
Sapase.
sure.
Mabule.
Ça passe, my dude. Okay. Go ahead.
But yeah, we just, it's a brand essentially. That's how it started. It was just supposed to represent just entrepreneurship and financial literacy, and then it became something else. It manifested into something a lot bigger, something that would actually help the community. And we're listening to Linda talk about all the stresses and all the challenges we have in our community. We figured, okay, what is something that we can tackle in our community? One of those things is financial literacy. A lot of the people in our communities, they don't have the financial literacy that they need, the intelligence to actually manage their money correctly, which forces them to partake in crimes and some of the things that she was talking about, them not even treating their kids the right way, or maybe not even parenting their kids because they're working two jobs and they're doing extra stuff. So it's essentially how it all came about, really.
Okay, so how many years have you been doing this, or you just started?
Just started. It started as an investment club between just our groups of friends and families as a private one.
And then saving money together within the
Just so
teaching each other.
Yeah, basically we had an account that we invited a bunch of our friends who were interested in investments, and then we created an account where all of us can be joint tenants of that account, so we can all contribute money on a monthly basis, and then we come together, do research on different investments, security, stocks, and then we vote on which ones we're gonna pick to invest in as a group. So we're learning together, we're investing together, and we're watching our money grow together. Just like how Linda pointed out, like we don't do things together anymore. Just to name like a community like the Jews, they build everything together. Now they have generational wealth where like their grandkids are set, and that's what we had to do. Our ancestors didn't have much to leave behind, so we had to, pave the way for the next generation, and so that they can have it easy for the next generation, so that we can be good and we're not, going back to repeating history again and going through the same struggles.
So what are some of the programs? What are some of the programs that you guys do to help the young black generation of today to invest more?
Or just your audience in general. Like, is it young adults? I mean, it could be old adults too. You guys.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We definitely target different audiences, but we recognize that different audiences deserve different teachings and different curriculum. So we've developed a 4-part curriculum, and this is pretty much our base, right? And we use that 4-part curriculum to kind of just target all of our audiences. And we do workshops, first of all. The main 3 things that we really want to accomplish with starting this company is promoting financial stability, human capital, and generational wealth. And we do that through events and educational events and workshops. And right now we're doing workshops off the 4-part curriculum. And the 4 parts is, first of all, introduction to financial literacy. Just teaching you guys the basics of the words, savings accounts, checking accounts, the basic accounts that everybody needs, how to write a check, things of that nature. The second part is now managing your finances. Once you finally understand the terminology and you're in the industry and you're learning about, okay, this is what finance means, this is what investment means, this is what saving means. Now we teach you how to manage your money, right? So the little money that you may have or the big pile of money that you may have, so that kind of covers kids and both adults. you need to manage it regardless of your age, and you need to manage it according to your financial goals, short-term goals, long-term goals. So what are your goals? And then the third part is introduction to wealth creation. So we want to make sure that you're looking at your financial goals for the long term. How are you going to build wealth for the long term and eventually start creating that generational wealth? Like my partner Dijoli said, unfortunately, for a lot of blacks in our communities or low-income communities, a lot of us don't have that generational wealth. We're not getting passed down any jewels. We're not even getting passed down how to write a check. We're not getting passed down how to start a savings account. None of that.
How to even save a penny.
How to save one penny.
How to start
A dollar can buy you ice cream, and then it's gone. And it's like, Mom, I need another dollar. Like, no, you spend it on ice cream.
Yep.
And instead of telling you, put it away. I have some friends, though, that their sons are really, like, very adamant about putting their money away. And, like, you know, my friends will be like, well, where's your dollar? Mom, I got to save that for school. And then they ask their mom for the money. So now I see a lot of, like, my generation, like my friends that have kids, are instilling that in their children. But back in the day, my parents never taught me that. And my father has a business. So he now lectures me about the savings and the investing, and this is what I'm a foreigner and I can do it, so you need to do it too. But it's like, well, what happened when I was a baby? Like when I was a kid, growing up, you just splurged me with money. You never taught me how to save it. You never taught me how to put it away for a rainy day. But now that I'm an adult, you're telling me how to do it now. So it's like, I feel like our parents.
That's like a question for the day, right?
Yeah, like, and my question of the day today was, and I want to get you guys input on it. Do you feel that schools should teach a course of investment and how to save money, how to make it go longer?
Maybe
like
y'all need to be the teachers.
Y'all would be great teachers in that, but do you guys agree? Or should it be a parent's job first? I think it starts in the crib. It starts at home.
Yeah, it does start in the house, like, but it starts with like little things. You know, you gotta make your kid earn every dollar, like allowance, doing chores. Like in my house, everything I ever got, I earned. I never got anything just because, hey, it's your birthday. Hey, you did this, you get this. No, I had to earn everything, and that's why, you know, I was always pretty tight with my money. I would only spend money on things that I know I would get back something out of it, whether it's happiness or whether if I'm making a friend happy or a family member happy, whatever it may be. We go back to school, they're teaching us things that we won't really use. Like I haven't used most of the things I learned in high school. History class was probably the worst thing in high school. Like
all lies.
Yeah, all lies. And now I'm learning, like, hey, everything you learned in high school in terms of history is a lie. Like Independence Day, July 4th is not actually your Independence
Thanksgiving.
Day. Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Even
all
though
that.
it's
Columbus
still gonna be
Day.
my favorite holiday, though. I mean, you gotta love the Grove.
Yeah,
you gotta love the Grove.
Columbus Day, but but the teachers, I think it's up to the schools to really reshape the curriculum. Like it's been the same for too long, and they need to make it more based on like what kids actually deal with at home, because not everybody's dealing with the same circumstances. Like there's kids that go to high school, they can go home and study in a peaceful environment and they can have food in their stomach, but other kids can't do that. That's why, you know, they need to teach more skills so that kids can actually get internships, like Linda was saying. Financial literacy, you know, that's like a skill. That's a skill of its own. You know, if you have the literacy to control your finance and not really spend your money recklessly, it takes a lot for somebody to do that. You know, like it's not easy, because you see a lot of temptation out there, and you want to like just buy. You want to look like your favorite athlete. You want to buy things that are cool, things that are trendy, and all that stuff. As a young child, it's very normal to want to look cool and want to fit in.
I seen a meme today that applies to this. It said, only if you knew that after death, no one really cares. So why spend all your time and money trying to impress people who don't care? And I see so much of our generation buying clothes, the labels. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying, when I say I'm frugal with myself, I'm frugal with myself. Yeah. I really have to weigh the options of like, I got to throw down on that gas bill, or I'm going to be without no food because I can't cook. You know what I mean? Like, but here's the thing though. It doesn't, in the city of Boston alone, it doesn't matter how much money you make. I make good money, but I'm still struggling. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's obviously financial, not balancing stuff correctly, but at the end of the day, like there was an article that said a person in Boston needs to make about $50 an hour in order to afford a 2-bedroom. They're not lying. A home right now, 2 bedrooms, is going for $1,800.
Wow.
Who's affording that? And a
that's-
chick like me don't want no roommates, so I live alone. When I gotta pay that money by myself, it hurts my pockets. And then it's the struggle of trying to put away a dime because you're thinking about the bills or being homeless out on the street. What are some of the things that your workshops can help people? How can I invest in your workshop that it's going to help me invest in my life?
And so that's when you come to the workshop, you'll probably get the basics. But then once we sit down one-on-one with you, then we could actually...
There you go. Cut down on your wine bill.
Yeah, we have to cut down. And the way I try to look at it is like you have buckets, right? You have different buckets that are expenses in your life. So you have a bucket for gifts, like Dijoli was mentioning. You need to buy gifts for your friends and your families. That's a
I don't
bucket.
need to, honey.
But
Let me tell you.
You would be
Then they ain't gonna get you gifts.
It's all right. You know what? No expectations equals no disappointments. I've learned that early in life.
Exactly.
If I don't expect it, I ain't getting disappointed. So I catch no feelings. I catch flights.
But there's always time you probably just want to give just to give.
But I do be getting my feelings. Because Mingo didn't give me a birthday gift. My birthday was on Tuesday.
Oh,
the
God.
buckets. So like, even if it's not gifts, all right, it's food. Let's talk about the necessities of life first of all. To live. So food, shelter, what else? Car,
shelter.
transportation.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna need that. And education. You want to continue to grow and gain more skills, so that way you're more valuable and you can earn more income.
Yeah.
So you want to start putting buckets aside for that because you have to spend on that no matter what. So you have a bucket for rent. You just put enough in that bucket to pay off rent for the month. And you gotta understand. You gotta be practical and realistic with yourself. How big of a house do you need? How big of an apartment do you need? Can you go for renting? Can you live somewhere else? Can you live in the outskirts of Boston and then commute? Is it realistic to
But
you?
they're already kicking us out.
Through gentrification.
But one thing about gentrification that I want to point out there, don't y'all feel like we should buy into gentrification instead of complaining
Yes,
about it?
exactly.
Because complaining about it is not helping it. I think we should, but then I was talking to an Uber driver about this, and she got upset and she said, yeah, but look how they're raising the prices on everything. How are we supposed to buy in it when they're making it so hard for us? I'm like, there's loopholes. You can go around them.
Right.
You got the credit, you can get a house. You can pay a low mortgage. You just not looking at the right resources. Complaining about gentrification, guess what? They're still knocking that building down on Pleasant Street.
Yep.
It still went down. Them condos are coming up. This is the problem. Complaining ain't helping. We need to buy into it. Yeah. Even if you buy in groups, find a friend, our partnership that wants to invest together. And you guys can go and buy a property together and profit off of that. But I feel like our generation just wants to complain about gentrification, but what are you doing about it? Like, how are you changing that?
So this is my theory on gentrification. I was able to go to Barbara Corcoran's real estate event, which was like a couple months ago. And Barbara Corcoran, she has a big real estate agency. And I asked her the question on gentrification, how do we avoid it? She said you can't avoid it, it's inevitable. The best thing that we can do as a low-income community is partake in it. The way to partake in it, like you said, group economics, we put our money together, buy the properties together, boom, we got credit. But the second way you could also do it is look for the developers, look for people who already have enough money and they're coming from Boston and they want to gentrify the outskirts of Boston, like Lynn, North Shore, right? That's where we're from. So you partner with these developers because these developers need you. As much as they may seem like they don't need us and they just coming in and just buying up the property, where are we going? We're just moving somewhere else because these properties in the hood is no longer for us, so we make a hood somewhere else. But what if they came and they asked us, what do you guys want in the hood? What kind of stores? What kind of properties? What kind of locations? What type of rent? And we got involved and told them, okay, downtown here, this is where it gets popping at night time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how it's going to be popping. I'll tell you what type of club we like. And you're going to profit as a developer, but I'm going to profit as your partner, a 10% partner. And that's what Barbara suggested, that we become 10% partners with no capital, but we have human capital, the knowledge on how to actually navigate through the city, what's popping, what the people like, and things of that nature.
Y'all don't go nowhere, man. We in the building, like I said, hit me out. Flo's finna get a duck on. We live, baby.
Aye.